Abby Morales, office manager.
Okay, and what's your degree in from USC?
Chemistry.
Okay, and how'd you get involved with Midlands Bio Fuels?
I interned here while I was at USC getting my chemistry degree.
Okay, and how did you find out about Midlands Bio Fuels? Was it something the university helped you with, or you found on your own?
Yes, it was through their sepsis STEM program.
Awesome. And what's your favorite part about working with Midlands Bio Fuels?
Just the family environment.
So my name is Beth Renwick, and I'm majority owner of Midlands Bio Fuels.
Okay, and how did you become majority owner of Midlands Bio Fuels?
Somewhat by default. So my husband started this business in 2008 with a business partner, and after they parted ways and split the business, I came on just doing mainly the finances, and then we decided that, you know, instead of looking for another partner or investor, that I was right here and ready and willing to take on new tasks.
Awesome. Speaking of Better Place to Work, can you tell us a little bit more about Bio for Education?
Yes, Bio for EDU is a program that we started with Lexington Richland District 5. And so all of the restaurants that are signed up in that district, we pay 25 cents per gallon straight directly to the schools as a donation. So it's a way for us to get more restaurants and get more oil, but then also kind of give back to the community and to the students.
What's been your favorite part about entrepreneurship?
The marketing. I think just in having Joe, you know, as the other business owner, he is a visionary, and so he's always coming up with crazy off-the-wall ideas, and then we pursue some of them and they actually work.
Okay.
So,
how many times does he come to you at 4 a.m. with the next idea?
we have a rule that we don't talk about business after 10 p.m. So one of Joe's ideas was he came to me and said that he found a school bus from the District of Washington and District of Columbia, and so we bought a used short bus, and so now we're using it as a promotional vehicle, going out to tailgating and fairs and things like that, so we can just kind of get people on board the bio bus and take them all around. So it's one of Joe's crazy ideas that turned out to be a lot of fun too.
Frederick Love, I'm the procurement manager.
Okay. So how did you start with Midlands Bio Fuels?
How did I start with Midlands Bio Fuels? I actually, I'm close friends with Joe and Beth, and so Joe has approached me with an idea of me possibly doing sales for him, and with Midlands Bio Fuels, and that's where that idea spawned from there to me being the procurement manager.
Okay. So what's the best thing that you've done with Midlands Bio Fuels so far? Any crazy ideas or anything like that that you've executed?
Yes, actually trying to get with a lot of the recycling centers in the state. Thought it was a crazy idea, but actually it worked out very well. That was one of the first projects I worked on, was signing up some of the recycling centers here in the state of South Carolina.
How did USC help you get to where you are today?
USC gave me the tools to be successful in life, to be able to adapt to different situations. So whatever comes on my plate, I'm able to adapt and apply it to my life.
Is there a specific resource you think students should take more advantage of as someone looking back on their college experience?
Definitely take advantage of, do as much networking as possible. That's something I would definitely tell everyone.
So my name is Bio Joe Renwick with Midlands Bio Fuels, and I am the co-founder, co-owner, and the process engineer.
Awesome. So tell us about your background. Where are you from originally?
I'm actually from Winsboro. Went to school here, then moved away and went to the Citadel, lived in a few cities, and somehow gravitated back to Winsboro when my wife got a job at Lexington Medical Center.
Okay. So what were you involved with before you started Midlands Bio Fuels?
So I was working as an account executive with Wachovia Bank, and during the stock market crash, real estate crash, and the environmental economy downturn, lost my job with Wachovia and found my way to Midlands Biofuels. With high fuel prices, I couldn't afford the fuel, so I learned how to make biodiesel by meeting a friend that knew a guy that knew how to make it. Then I later had a job actually selling tanks and pumps and valves to the pharmaceutical industry, so I learned as a manufacturer rep about how tanks and pumps and valves work, which kind of gave me the confidence to build a full biodiesel plant and move out of my garage to build Midlands Biofuels.
So was it an easy transition to start your own business?
Yes, so I'm a serial entrepreneur. From when I was 10 years old, I have owned and run various businesses. I actually sold my first business when I was 18 years old. When I went to college, I sold a landscaping company that I had owned. And then started a few different businesses while I was even in college. And then once I graduated, I actually started teaching SAT prep and developed my own program there as well. Then actually I started another landscaping company and sold it when I got married, which is why I actually owned a diesel truck. And had I never owned that diesel truck, we wouldn't be having this conversation, because I would have never been exposed to biodiesel. Has there ever been a make it or break it moment? Almost every day, I would say. It's constantly, because of the economy. So when we started the business, the first make it or break it moment was when we actually had to sign the documents in order to get the loan to build this plant. And so the day that we signed that paperwork was the day that the stock market crashed. And so to me, that's kind of our first make it or break it moment, that had we waited one more day, we would never have gotten the funding for this project. But since then, all government subsidies have been cut for what we do. So we currently get $0 from the state and from the federal government. So yet another make it or break it moment. But funny, that's actually happened 3 different times since we've been in business. So multiple moments there. There's been make it or break it moments where when we started 6 or 7 years ago, we actually were in a market where to get the cooking oil directly from restaurants, they were willing to give it to you, because most restaurants were used to paying for disposal. And so now here we are years later, and we actually have to pay for that oil. So we're kind of in another make it or break it situation where we now have to pay for the oil, and it's changed our cost of doing business, coupled with the fact that we don't get any subsidies from the government anymore. So our cost of doing business is very different. And so that's another make it or break it moment. And when we had to make the decision to buy out my business partner and take this business on 100% within our family, that was one of the biggest decisions that we had to make, but the best decision for the business.
Do you have a favorite entrepreneurship moment so far?
There's been a number of favorite moments. I would say one of the most rewarding was in 2013, we were nominated the DHEC, South Carolina DHEC Business of the Year. And to get that award was huge. We had a big press conference here at the plant. Mick Mulvaney came and spoke, and it was really big for us. To me, it kind of puts us on the map, because the people that had won that same award previously were Boeing and Bridgestone Tires and Bosch and a lot of other big companies that have millions and millions of dollars in budgets and thousands of employees. And here we are, little old Midlands Bio Fuels, plugging away, with 7 or 8 employees, and we were able to get the type of recognition that typically is associated with the very large companies. And so to me, that's been one of the proudest moments of since we've been in business, to be recognized on a state level.
So has entrepreneurship met your expectations so far?
Yes, entrepreneurship has far exceeded my expectations. It's allowed me to do what I want to do every day for as many hours as I want to do it each day.
So how did your passion for entrepreneurship lead you to the Incubator?
So when we originally were building the business, we were looking for resource partners that could give us assistance on a higher level. So with being like a mentor to us, to give us business advice of paths that we should try to go down, to help us as a resource partner with USC, specifically with working with like the mechanical engineering department, chemical engineering department. We've done a lot of work with the Darla Moore School of Business as well. And I think it does give a little credibility to a business if they're in an incubator company, because they know that there's some support being given and that there's more resources for that small company to draw from to be successful, rather than just someone that's trying to do it on their own. And so for us, the incubator program has been a huge benefit to us.